Greetings Commanders, this is KreeKree here and I'm an Elite Dangerous content creator. If you'd like to catch me live, you can catch me at twitch.tv/KreeKree, where we have our community events. The biggest one being 𝗕𝗬𝗡𝗡𝗘𝗗𝗏 Friday, where we come together to kill 𝗕𝗤𝗨𝗑𝗡𝗘𝗏 so that we can make millions or even billions of credits. In today's video, we're going to have a look at a beginner unengineered exploration Diamondback Explorer. Now this is definitely one of the most awesome ships for exploring. The other one is the 𝗕𝗡𝗡 Explorer. If you'd like to have a look at that build, you can check out the video here. Now let's get into the modules of this ship, starting off with the hardpoints. So as you can see here, there is nothing on the hardpoints here, mostly just because when you're out exploring, you're pretty much in the black alone, so the likelihood of you being attacked by any pirates or anything like that is incredibly low. So they're only going to weigh you down anyway, so you might as well just go without them. Next is the utility mounts. So for the utility mounts, you have 4 slots, but I've just put in 2 heat sink launchers. This is just so that, you know, when you're scooping off a star with your fuel scoop, so that you have enough fuel to get around, sometimes you can get a bit hot. So having a heatsink launcher really helps out with that, and having 2 as well really helps with the ability to have a fair few on the go. Next is the core internal. Now for the core internal, there are mostly going to be either A-rated or D-rated modules, except for the armor here, which is 1C. But of course, because it's an explorer, we want to try and keep things as light as possible. So I've gone with the lightweight alloys for this. The power plant, it is a 4A, because we want to make sure that we have enough power to run everything on our ship. So as you can see down here, the total power is 15.6 megawatts that is available for a 4A, and with the modules that you have here, you have 15.13 megawatts used. So you have plenty of power. For the thrusters, I've gone with 4A. I mean, it is up to you if you want to go with 4D instead, because it is a lighter module, which means that you would increase your jump range, but not by a whole lot. So it would go from about 35 light years to about 36. So not a huge deal, so I've just gone with the A, mostly because I want to have a fair amount of power just in case you do come across a high G world that you'd like to try and land on. Next is the frame shift drive. Naturally, I've gone with a 5A because we want to have as much of a jump range as we possibly can so that we can get to our destination faster. You can go with a smaller one and have smaller jumps. It just means that you've got more stops to go through and explore. So it's up to you, but I generally go with A-rated. Next is the life support. I've gone with a 3D, mostly just because of the mass. It's only 2 tons. And with D-rated modules, as you would possibly be aware of, D-rated modules are the lightest modules available in any module. I feel like I said module 1,000 times right then. Okay, next is the power distributor. So for the power distributor, I've just gone with a 3D in the class 4 slot. This is because that way, even though the class is lower at a 3, and rated at D, you'll still be able to boost if you would like to. So the fact that the mass is quite small at only 2 tons, you're still going to have a good amount of jump range. I probably wouldn't go with a 4D or even a 4A, mostly because of that mass. We want to try and be as light as we can so we can get as far as we can, as quick as we can. And lastly, the sensors. I've gone with 3D. So once again, keeping it light at 2 tons for this module. Now moving on to the optional internal. For the first class 4, I've got a 4G planetary vehicle hangar. So because this is a class 4, it means that you actually have 2 vehicle slots. That way, if you're a bit of a lead foot like I am, and you damage or destroy one of your SRVs, you do have a backup. And don't forget that you can actually repair your SRV and refuel, as well as rearm in the 4th panel in inventory and going down to synthesis. If both your vehicles are destroyed, that does mean that you won't be able to create a whole new one. You will need to restock at a station. Next is a 4A fuel scoop. Now you're definitely going to need this when you're out exploring because there's really no other way to get fuel. When you're out in the black, there's no stations, or at least very little station presence outside the bubble. So having a A-rated fuel scoop helps with being able to fuel up really quickly so you can get going to your next exploration destination. Next is a shield generator. So for this I've gone with a 3D, so once again with the D-rated module, making it as light as possible. You won't need a large amount of shields with this ship, but it does help, especially if you are going to land on a IG world. Then you'll have a bit of protection on your ship just so you don't get damaged. Speaking of damage, we have Class 2 and Class 3 auto field maintenance units, both rated A. So for these two modules, they are used for repairing the modules of your ship, so not the hull, the modules. So when I was speaking earlier about getting too hot when you're refueling off a star, the heat can damage your modules, which is why it's a really good idea if you're going out for a while to have an auto field maintenance unit just in case you need to top up the health of your module. Next is the Detailed Surface Scanner in Class 2. You can't get a Class 2 Detailed Surface Scanner because it's basically just software. But this is definitely needed when you're out exploring because otherwise you won't be able to scan any of the planets that you would like to scan. The most profitable ones being Earth-like worlds, Earnier worlds, water worlds, terraformable worlds, and even metal-rich worlds as well. If you're new to exploring and you would like to make a lot of money on it, then you can certainly try out the Road to Riches Pathfinder website, which I will link in the description for you. It has a list of all the systems and planets that you need to go to specifically to use your detailed surface scanners on those specific planets, so you can sell the data more than 20 light years away from the location for big bucks. Now for the last two modules, I have Super Cruise Assist and Advanced Docking Computer. Now you don't necessarily need this, but because it doesn't actually take much power draw and it doesn't actually weigh anything because it is software. So Super Cruise Assist can just help you with, cruising along to your next destination if you would like. That way you know that if you were to go and make a cup of tea while engaging in Super Cruise Assist to say a planet, then it would automatically orbit that planet, so you know you're not going to crash into the planet and lose all your data if you were to die. Another advantage of having an advanced docking computer on your ship when exploring is that when you get close enough to the ground and have your landing gear out, it will actually find a landable spot for you. I do believe that you need to have Odyssey for this, but if you can do this in Horizons as well, make sure you put it in the comments below. I would like to know. Now, last of all, we need vehicles. So you go into the vehicle base. Now, as I said before, because we have a class 4 vehicle hangar, you do need to buy 2 SRVs. And as you can see, they are right here. I'd like to mention that if you'd like to learn how to use a full system scanner and a detailed surface scanner, full system scanner is the scanner that you use to scan a full system from your current location inside the system, and then the detailed surface scanner is the scanner that you use to scan the astral bodies you would like to collect the data and sell off. So if you'd like to learn how to use those things, definitely check out this video. It really does help you out. And if you like this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, I'll see you over at that video. Fly safe, Commanders.